Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is so exciting for me. I'm going to share with you 2 poems about a periodic table element. Number 51. In honor of community poetry reading that normally goes on from 1 to 3 p.m. in North Austin, sponsored, hosted by Tom Woodruff. It's not running since the pandemic, which breaks my heart, but in honor of that I read here. But I'm going to share with you 2 different poems about the periodic table poem Antimony. This first one is a Twitter-length one. It not only appears in this book, cc&d, Plurality of Nothing, the November 2022 issue, but it also appears in the Twitterverse periodic table of poetry book from Scars Publications as well, which is a bunch of really short poems about all of the elements that have just recently been written. Yay! It just excites me so. Antimony, yay! But this first one, this short one, is titled Antimony, Shorted and Violent. Ancient Greeks used this as a remedy. Egyptians smeared it on their eyes as kohl mascara. The alchemists called this black powder alcohol. Swiss alchemists distilled it into alcohol vini, wine. This medicine may have led to Mozart's death. What a sordid and violent history. I think that's the coolest thing, all of these things about this element, because it could be the mascara that you put on your face or the eyeshadow you put on your face that gives it dark color, or it could be a wine. I know a gentleman does walking seed brewing, and I asked him about designing his labels and doing things and if he can branch into wine, and he did. And he said, "Can you tell me, I want to do a Sauvignon Blanc, what element is that, SB? Because I want to have that for a label." And I look and I said, "It's Antimony." And then when I read this next poem, which is related to the Twitter-length haiku, we were very thrilled to be able to use a wine that's titled Antimony. That's a Sauvignon Blanc. I have to show off the wine bottle. It's just the coolest thing. It's got the SB logo. It's really hard. Maybe I can show it off. It's got the element in it, and it is under water, under a block of ice that he actually pulled out of the Southern Ocean. I thought this was perfect, and you have the light colors in it to reflect the wine. Antimony, element 51 in the periodic table. But I'm actually going to read the actual full poem for Antimony, as I said, that not only appears in cc&d magazine in this brand new issue titled Plurality of Nothing, but it also appears in the original Scars Publications periodic table of poetry book, which is actually a longer one. It's titled The Periodic Table of Poetry. It's actually available for $11.18 because it's for elements 1 through 118 in the periodic table. So, the one poem I'm going to share with you that appears in both of these books is for element number 51, and it is titled Antimony. It's actually quite unremarkable. It doesn't seem to have much use. But antimony seemed to cause a long and bitter war in the 1600s between France and Germany. Wars were started over land, religion, love, or money. But the element antimony? Well, doctors in that age believed that in the medicinal value of antimony, and the war was the war of the pen, with opposing views on antimony's medicinal value. The two sides took up literary arms, writing scathing reports in medical journals with the vitriol of a Jerry Springer show where the bodyguards couldn't even control the feud. And the scary thing is that antimony is actually toxic. But still, Greek physicians recommended antimony for skin complaints in the 1st century AD. And since that age, many still champion antimony for medical purposes. In fact, in Germany, a man, under the false name of a 15th century monk named Basil Valentine, wrote an entire book about antimony remedies, published in 1604. And he claimed that alchemy could free antimony of its toxicity just because it makes you vomit Does that mean that it would help your body remove the toxins that ail you? The Egyptians even used antimony as a form of mascara. They called the toxic antimony sulfide stibinate a black eye powder called kohl. Later, al-Qaeda chemists called the substance al-Kohl, which came to be a term to mean any powder, which led to the 1600 Swiss alchemists to call a distilled extract of wine al-Kohl-vini. Might as well show off the label, al-Kohl-vini, which shows the trail from toxic eye makeup to intoxicating alcohol. But the fondness for antimony lasted through the centuries, as doctors still prescribed its use through the 1700s. It has even been suggested that antimony remedies may have been what actually killed Mozart. Maybe they caught on to antimony by the next century because it became the element of choice for murderers looking to cause a slow, painful death to their victims. We use antimony now only in alloys for batteries or maybe to harden lead. But it's strange that antimony can have such a violent history, dip its hand into everything from makeup to medicines to the later naming of alcohol to poisoning people. I guess when people don't know all the chemical conditions, antimony can lead a colorful history, indeed. I had to share with you the element antimony that appears in Plurality of Nothing, the most recent issue of cc&d magazine. The shorter version was also in the Periodic Table of Poetry, and the longer one was also in the Periodic Table of Poetry, the full book, not the Twitter-length one. There's just so many books, it's just blowing my mind. I hope you enjoyed these readings. I might do another Periodic Table reading, but it won't be about something that's based on an alcohol that I happen to have in my house, which is the funniest thing. Antimony, what? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this poem readings. I might do additional poem readings for you, maybe from other Scarce Publications books that have been recently released. But thank you so very much for listening. Thank you for remaining creatively inclined, and I look forward to working with each and one of you in person because we're out of pandemic times, perchance, possibly, in the very near future. So thank you, and I'll talk to you very soon. Thanks.